Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Sunday evening, March 24, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what the dad's been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can see that low pressure system that has been plaguing sections of the eastern Gulf of Mexico, including Cuba, Florida, and the Bahamas, has now pushed south and eastward. And now we have that cold front situated across portions of Jamaica. This surface map was showing earlier today, and it was to the west of the island. Now it's definitely across the island, but the thing about this cold front is that not much cooler than normal temperatures are expected, but maybe some cloudy conditions with some isolated showers if they're not already happening. We can also see that we still have that ridge of high pressure situated across the northern sections of North Atlantic that is responsible for sending all of those easterly trade winds across the main development region. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, you can see the clouds associated with that low pressure system right there off the east coast of the United States, and the clouds that it has induced the cold front into portions of the greater Antilles with. So the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, eastern Cuba, sections of Jamaica now experiencing this weather system, and this is definitely expected to continue tonight into tomorrow with some amount of lingering isolated showers. We can also see that the ridge of high pressure is responsible for sending all of those easterly trade winds across the main development region into portions of the eastern Caribbean, and as you know, some of these low-level patches of clouds have some amount of isolated showers within them. We'll be talking more about the Caribbean's weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Sunday, March 24. It was stated that sections of northern and western Jamaica would have received some afternoon and evening rainfall. And we know northern parishes, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall. So St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. And what ended up happening? At 4:15 p.m., we saw that we had those clouds coming in from the west associated with the cold front, bring some overcast skies and isolated showers to sections of the west, as well as sections of some northern parishes. But we even got some of that spilling into sections of some southern parishes as well. So it was definitely more so eastern, central, and western parishes that got in on the action. We even had 876 eggs on our Instagram page confirming the rainfall in their area, drizzling in Manchester. So that indeed confirms the rainfall across sections of the south coast for today. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can see where we definitely had more of that southwesterly low level flow, but the medium to upper level flow definitely coming in from the west associated with that cold front. And by recording this is what the latest infrared satellite images showed. Some amount of clouds, nothing too serious, no high cold cloud tops that indicate thunderstorm activity, but we do see that we have some amount of cloud conditions that are definitely going to be bringing some isolated showers, especially in northern Jamaica tonight into tomorrow. If we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, we know the greens and the yellows represent some amount of light to moderate to even slightly heavy rainfall. We see that rainfall to the west of Westmoreland, some of it affecting sections of Negril or soon to affect Negril later on tonight. We can also see that rainfall to the north of St. James and St. Anne, so some of that could definitely start affecting those areas tonight into tomorrow. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can see we have 26 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. And by about 3 a.m. on Monday, the temperature should dip down to about 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Kingston. As it relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is showing 18Z on Monday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Monday, And we see Jamaica embedded in some yellow and some orange colors that represent 1 to 2 to even 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. I know the normal temperatures for the month of March across Jamaica are about the same as 87.3 degrees Fahrenheit. When we take a look at the thermometer, 87.3 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 30 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 30 to 33 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperatures on Monday. As it relates to the dry air map, we can still see that there's a lot of dry air still plaguing the entire Atlantic basin, stretching all the way from Africa into the Gulf of Mexico. And we can see all of this represented by the yellows, oranges, and reds by the key on the bottom. The Caribbean, not so drastic with the dry air. We have some yellows and some blues in there that represent some lower end of the scale dry air and some west air as well, which explains the weather associated with the cold front. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday, we see that majority of the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico should be in the clear, as all the browns that represent the Saharan dust should be across majority of the main development region, not to mention that area closer to Africa where we have those darker shades of browns. As it relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we're seeing more lighter shades of blues surrounding the island for Monday, and we can see that by the key on the bottom, that's representative of anywhere from 0.5 of a meter to 1 meter wave height, and that's because the winds are not going to be that strong coming in on the north coast for tomorrow from the east northeast, curving southward, averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 knots. The southern portion of the island coming in from the south, averaging 5 knots. More than likely, all of that air is going to be piling up across inland areas of some central and western parishes, and with the upper level winds coming in from the northwest, it could definitely bring more of that rainfall to sections of some central and eastern parishes, not to mention maybe some southern parishes getting in on that overcast skies. Either way, taking a look at the rainfall forecast, this is the meat of the matter. This is why we're here. We can see the blues that represent rainfall across sections of central and eastern Jamaica. Just for reference, we know central Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, so St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. Eastern Jamaica, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, so Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. And this is what the GFS is showing. The blues that represent rainfall at what time? 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. So maybe some isolated afternoon showers for the central and eastern portions of the island. Euro showing something similar but incorporating more so western Jamaica in that. But we know for a fact that when we're looking at these maps, we have to look at what both of them are showing, and we definitely see that consensus for central and eastern Jamaica. So we'll see exactly what unfolds tomorrow. Either way, ensure that you take with you your rain gear, umbrella, raincoat, water bottle, whatever the case may be, so that you're not that drastically affected by the weather to come. And we see that even the accumulated precipitation forecast maps are showing rainfall somewhere across the island tomorrow. Euro, as usual, showing more rainfall totals up to 0.22 millimeters across eastern Jamaica. GFS up to 0.2 of an inch across northern Jamaica. Either way, we're going to be receiving rainfall. We're in the month of March. We usually receive up to 87.15 millimeters of rainfall during this month, and we'll take all the rainfall that we can get to put some kind of a dent in the hydrological drought that we're currently experiencing. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have the clouds associated with the low pressure system still plaguing sections of Florida, the Bahamas, southern Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos, eastern Cuba, Jamaica. You can also see those little patches of clouds pushing from east and southeast to northwest across the Leeward Islands and the eastern Caribbean, and we can see it all even better on the latest Doppler radar images. And if we take a look at the images from today, we saw that we had that flow from the southeast across Puerto Rico today, sections of western Puerto Rico and especially southwestern Puerto Rico getting in on the action today. Not to mention sections of Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, Guadeloupe getting in on the action. Even sections of the US and British Virgin Islands as well. And if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we can see that rainfall to the north of Barbados heading into sections of Guadeloupe. Maybe some hit or miss isolated showers for sections of St. Lucia getting in on that across the eastern and southern portion of the island right now, or earlier today, or maybe even tonight. Don't see much happening across St. Vincent and the Grenadines or Tobago right now. But if we take a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we do see that rainfall across sections of Colombia as usual. As relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we do see the grays and the blues that represent average to below normal temperatures anywhere from the southeastern United States southward. So, Georgia, Florida, section of the Bahamas, sections of Cuba getting on the average temperatures, but the yellows, oranges, and reds are clearly bringing above normal temperatures to sections of anywhere from the Gulf of Mexico, Central America, into sections of Northern South America, as well as sections of the Central and Eastern Caribbean. As relates to the siren, dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday, we see that majority of the Caribbean should be in the clear for that time, as all the browns that represent the siren dust should be across the waters of the main development region, especially that area closer to Africa where we have those darker shades of browns that, as we know, represent that vigorous plume. As relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we're still expecting to see the high wave heights that are plaguing the waters of the east coast of the United States. The purples, the reds, the burgundies that represent anywhere from 2 meter wave heights or more. And we see majority of the Caribbean anywhere from 0.5 meter to 1.5 meter wave heights, and that's because the winds are not going to be that strong across the Caribbean, averaging anywhere from 0 to 5 to even 10 knots, coming in variable for majority of the central Caribbean, from the southeast across the western Caribbean, from the southeast across the eastern Caribbean as well. As relates to the rainfall forecast now, we're starting to see that rainfall definitely in the forecast for sections of the Dominican Republic, Haiti, sections of Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, Antigua and Barbuda, Guadeloupe, sections of Dominica might get in on the action as well. We can also see sections of the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, eastern Cuba, Jamaica getting in on some of the weather. And even if we skip southward, we can see that rainfall definitely expected for sections of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, sections of Honduras, and Nicaragua right there on the border of the southwestern portion of those countries. And we can also see that we have some amount of rainfall in store, maybe possible for sections of southern Guyana. And we know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.